This is a whole striped bass. It's a small one, courtesy of the Pacifico Aquaculture Company. This is the fish of my childhood, watching my father catch the fish, tend the fish, and to this day it remains one of my favorite dishes to cook, so I'm thrilled to be able to bring it to you. Today we're making a grilled whole striped bass, and we're serving it over a tomato and vegetable broth. The first thing that we want to do is get our vegetables cooking. I have a Dutch oven over here, cast iron. I'm gonna add some olive oil. I'm using celery and onion. I'm using whole garlic cloves. And we want to caramelize our tomato paste to get a really rich tomato flavor. So I've got a pretty low fire under there. We want to sort of caramelize this stuff low and slow without burning the tomato paste. It's a very hot Texas day. I had to put this back into the refrigerator. Next thing, I have my herbs. I have bay, oregano, basil, thyme, parsley. Line all those up and just really cinch that up. And that just goes right in the pot. We're just gonna put a little bit of saffron in there just to get some of that very typical Provençal flavor. Sprinkle this with a little salt and a little pepper. Just let that cook. And now I want to turn my attention to my favorite vegetable, fennel. I just cut this bulb at an angle. I like to leave the tender shoots of the fronds. I'm gonna cut it again into quarters, and then I'm gonna cut it into some slices. I'm just gonna let that cook for 4 or 5 minutes, stirring it every once in a while until the tomato paste caramelizes. This is my homemade shellfish stock. So we have a couple of quarts of that incredible stock, and that will go in at the very end. So we put our quart of whole San Marzano tomatoes in there. Cutting them in half, it'll fall apart in bigger pieces, so we'll have chunks of tomato to eat with our fish and the other vegetables. By putting in ingredient by ingredient, letting the heat do their job, we're literally staggering layers of flavor, so by the time we eat it, the flavor is more symphonic. It's big, and I like big flavors. The liquid that came out of those tomatoes has reduced by 50%. So I'm gonna add a cup and a half of white wine, carefully measured. Let the liquids now reduce by half again, and then we're gonna add our broth. We just wanna make sure that we have nice body in our soup. Simmer that for about 25, 30 minutes before it's perfect. So we'll get going with the rest of our meal. First, we're gonna make a French mayonnaise-based sauce called rouille to serve with the soup. The first thing we need to do when we're making rouille is roast a red pepper. We just want to keep turning it until we get that skin nice and blackened. Well, that's about as perfect as it gets. Okay, we can go ahead and make our rouille. Now, this sauce is a mayonnaise-based. We're going to take egg yolks and emulsify oil into it and flavor it with mustard, saffron, lemon juice, some chopped tarragon, and this roast pepper. I'm gonna take a little bit of water and just pour it on top of the saffron just to let it steep for a second or two. All I wanna do is just sort of peel this off. If you have little bits of skin that don't come off like this, don't get into analysis paralysis. It's not a big deal. So I just wanna remove this seed core. Don't worry about these ribs. If you wanna take them out, by all means, go ahead. There is your cleaned and roasted pepper. Now, first thing that's gonna go into my food processor is my egg yolk, my mustard, for flavor and also helps hold the stabilization. Give the garlic a good smash, which is another sort of flavor hallmark. I've got this saffron sort of right where I want it, a little bit more acidity in the form of my lemon juice. Let's get some of that pepper in there on the first go. Let's see how much more we need, and salt. And I'm just gonna pulse it. So once I break it up a little bit, I can puree it. Then I can put it on low and emulsify very slowly with my oils. This is vegetable oil that I'm adding in a really slow stream. All right, now I just wanna add a little more olive oil flavor to glossen it up and to give it a little more body. And I don't have to pour in as thin a stream because I've already made my emulsification. Just taste it. That is perfect. The last thing that I want to do is I want to put some tarragon in there. This stuff is going to be absolutely fantastic. We're going to keep it in the fridge, the perfect way to enjoy grilled striped bass. So we have this beautiful, clean bass. Scales are still on it. I am going to char the meat of this fish through the skin under high direct heat. Those scales are gonna make it really easy to cook because it's not going to stick. I think the fish is gonna take 12 to 13 minutes on each side, and I want it to rest because I want the juices to go back to the center of the animal. So I'm just rolling this in the salt and the olive oil. I know that this part of my grill is hot enough to start. The minute it goes on, I heard a little bit of sizzle, but what I need to do, since I'm cooking this for a while, is make sure that I have some nice pieces of wood underneath there. Now that heat right there will diffuse and give me some nice even cooking. It's starting to really feel like my dad is around here. It's a nice feeling. Great memories, family cooking. All right, let's make a couple croutons. I'm gonna season these with olive oil and salt from that pan to my right. And all I wanna do is just touch a side here on this tray. I just push down to make sure that I have some nice contact. And I'm just gonna put these on the lee side of the fish. These just take seconds. With my gloves on, I can probably get real close in here and just turn that over. Our soup has just been slowly simmering. Everything in here is spoon tender. Let's see where we're at on our second side of this fish. Oh, yeah. The skin and scales are holding everything together, and they're acting as a really nice protective barrier. I'm gonna give it about 90 seconds on that first side and then call it a day. All right, safety first. And when I say safety, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about the fish. And while that rests, our soup, just sitting on the corner, is doing beautifully. Let me show you how to grill a filet over the same heat. My olive oil. And because we have such a hot fire, you can either go show side down or skin side down. Doesn't really matter. Small little fillets like this, you just want to get a really hard sear on them, and I'll cook them 80, 90% of the way on one side, even over high direct heat. Striped bass doesn't have a lot of internal fat. The skin is nice and charred and crispy. The top is done. You're gonna let those rest for a minute. I'm gonna pull my soup. I'm just gonna cut my skin, being very careful there, because I just want to remove the skin. And what is below is some of the most perfectly cooked fish you will ever eat. I'm just running my knife along the center bone. How do I know it's there? Because I just bisect the bloodline. Come this way with my knife. In this entire top loin, there's not a single bone. Just flake the meat off the ribs, not a single bone. Peel away that top line that has all of those little bones in it. Pull the tail off. And I'm just pushing the meat down below, and there is the head. And then I have to just repeat what I did on the other side. That fish is just extraordinary. So, some of our tomato soup. I'm gonna put just a little more solid in the middle because I want my fish to face up. Portion number one, portion number two. Can't stop eating it. Little seasoning, Little drizzle of olive oil. And then the last touch, just a little pepper in the broth. That beautiful saffron roux, which you're meant to sort of stir in to the soup. I don't think there's a better flavor in the whole world. This meal just takes me back to my childhood. I would want my dad to taste how I do this now and know that all those years of me sitting there screaming at him, when are we gonna get a fish? Were worthwhile. And just like bouillabaisse, I do like to take some of that mayonnaise and just put it right into the hot broth. This is acidic in the most beautiful way because we didn't overcook the tomatoes. Sweet with the onions and the fennel and the celery. The smoky saltiness, the brininess of the fish. It's just exquisite. And who doesn't love grilled bread dipped in broth? Grilled striped bass, 2 different ways with our tomato soup, our roux, and our grilled toast. I need some private time to finish these 3 bowls. Thank you very much.